Yo, welcome to PTA Sports. I am your host, Pest the Analyst. Y'all know what time it is. Pest Perspective time. So check it out. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about this whole DeAndre Baker situation, talking about whether this dude is guilty or innocent, talking about whether or not this dude paid some witnesses off or not, talking about if this dude going to be able to play or if he's even going to be a Giant this season, talking about all these things. Well, here's the deal. I'm not really going to talk about all those things because I've took a stance pretty much this entire time that I'm not going to talk about this case. I'm not going to talk about whether or not I think he's guilty or I think he's innocent. I'm going to let the system play out and we're going to see what happens. So, though this video is kind of about DeAndre Baker, it's kind of not about DeAndre Baker. Because what I really want to talk about is the cornerbacks and who's going to potentially step up if DeAndre Baker don't beat this case. So, this is what I did, man. I went and I looked at some film on the quarterbacks that we have. Whether or not I looked at film, on them in college, or if I looked at film on them in the pros. Now, understand this. I'm not a scout, okay? And y'all know that the biggest part of my knowledge when it comes to football is the trenches. So I can't even really tell you from a technical standpoint about these players. But what I can tell you is what my eyes tell me, all right? So here we go. First person that I'm going to talk about, because I think that this is our biggest candidate to go ahead and fill that number 2 spot, is Julian Love, all right? Now, I personally was never a fan of Julian Love playing safety. I guess I understood why they threw him up in the safety position or whatever, right? Because aside from Jabril Peppers, who did we really have? You know what I'm saying? Our safety room was lacking. And so, it was kind of a next man up situation, and they were like, all right, you know what? Hey, Julian, you going to go up there and you going to play slot. I personally don't think that Julian Love should have been playing, not slot, safety. I personally think Julian Love shouldn't have been playing safety, and I don't personally think Julian Love should be in the slot. I see Julian Love as a boundary corner. So I legitimately think that he can come down from that safety position, move down into that number 2 spot, right? And be just fine. Is he going to get roasted and toasted occasionally? Of course he's going to get roasted and toasted occasionally. When I looked at film of him, playing corner, which it was only a couple of games in preseason when he was playing corner, but when I looked at film of this dude playing corner, he was kind of getting roasted and toasted. Now, the thing about it was he was playing a lot of slot. He was playing mostly slot, to be honest with you, when he was out there on the field in a cornerback position. Again, I don't think that's the position for him. Julian Edelman was roasting this dude when the Giants played the Patriots in the preseason. So I personally don't think that he's a slot guy, but I do think that he is a boundary or an outside corner. He could be our number 2. If you go back and you watch just some game film on him in Notre Dame, he was doing pretty damn good as an outside corner. And the thing about it is this, okay? Y'all got to understand, Bradbury always going to be on a number 1. So it's not like Julian Love is going to be defending number 1s. He's going to be defending 2s. So I honestly think that Julian Love is probably the best candidate to take over as the number 2 corner, all right? The next person I'm going to talk about is Sam Beal. Now, here's my thing about Sam Beal. The best ability is availability. You know what I'm saying? That's just the way I feel about football. And I think a lot of people feel the same way. If you ain't out there on the field, then I don't need you. And the fact of the matter is that since Sam Beal has been in the NFL, he ain't been nothing but hurt. He must have been going to the Evan Ingram school of football, because this dude can't stay healthy to save his damn life. And it's crazy to me because we spent a supplemental draft pick on this dude because based off of what everybody was saying about this guy and based off of the film on him, he could have been, a second round cornerback. We used the third for him. This dude's fast as hell. All right. This dude's got, from what I see, he's got pretty good, twist in his hips. All right. He's got relatively decent footwork. He's unrefined. Okay. But he could become good if dude could stay on the field. But he can't. So, I know that Bill's going to be in the mix. All right, when the Giants are actually able to go out onto the field and do a little bit of practice, because I don't even know if we having a preseason the way the player associations and the league office is talking. Man, we may not even have a preseason. I'm not sure how that's gonna work, but I mean, Bill's gonna be in the mix. He's gonna be in the competition. So the fact of the matter is that maybe this dude stays healthy and maybe he's got a shot. I personally don't think he could beat out Julian Love, but he does got a shot, and he's got a shot to be, a depth piece, to come out there, when Love is tired. I am never putting Sam Bill on a number one wide receiver ever in life, ever. All right. So then, I look, see, and this is where we got an issue, man, because I look at the rest of these names, right, and I look at some of these guys, man, that we got, and I don't feel super duper warm and fuzzy about them. I don't feel super duper warm and fuzzy about them, but there's some young guys here that got potential. Okay, let's not forget Darnay Holmes. Now, I personally think Darnay Holmes is gonna, be a slot guy, right? I don't necessarily see him playing outside corner, but you never know, man, because at the end of the day, we've got to create a competitive atmosphere for these players. So, hey, let him get out there and see what he does. All right. Now, obviously, we're not going to let him get out there, in game day unless we've, seen what he can do on the outside, against a number 2 wide receiver. And we feel confident that he can go out there and play, average, just average. Because here's the thing. All right. We need average play from our corners. All right. I really think that we need average play from our corners because I think we got some beast-ass safeties, all right, that can keep everything in front of them. So we just need average play from our corners, all right? I mean, Bradbury got to play out of his mind. I don't give a shit. Bradbury is our number 1 corner, all right? We're paying him a buttload of money. He got to play out of his mind. But everybody else just got to play average, okay? That's the way I feel. See, then we get into Corey Ballantyne. Listen, I like Corey Ballantyne. I like his story. All right, man, he's someone that I'm rooting for. I want him to just become a monster against all odds, man. His whole story, man, is just crazy, right? And so to see him, defy the odds and become a beast in the pros, man, it's better than fiction. But, I mean, I can remember seeing Ballantyne getting just burnt like toast out there on that field. Just getting burnt like toast. So, I'm in a weird position, man. I'm in a weird position. Because, I legitimately think that there's at least 2 cornerbacks who are shoo-ins to potentially be that number 2 wide receiver. And then there's a bunch of question marks in terms of who's going to be those outside wide receivers. Because I personally think that Holmes and Ballantyne, I think that these guys are slot guys. All right? I think that these guys are dime guys. And I think that they could play average. But I don't know. Something that I think could potentially happen, though, if I'm being completely honest, man, I wouldn't be surprised if we have a player that's, a free agent right now or veteran come in on a short-term, relatively cheap contract and compete for that number 2 spot as well. Like, don't be surprised, man. I mean, it's a little difficult right now because of COVID, right? People can't come in and they can't do physicals or whatever. But, like, I wouldn't be surprised if sometime between now and the start of the season, we bring another cornerback in. Now, I see a lot of people talking a lot of smack about Dave Gettleman, right? And talking a lot of smack because, like, Dave Gettleman traded up so that we can get DeAndre Baker, who at the time was considered one of the best corners in the draft. I understand that, like, you know, there was probably some red flags. I understand that, you know, people talked about Baker's work ethic. I understand people talked about Baker's attitude. I understand people question Baker's passion about football. Like, I understand all those things, right? And yeah, those are potential red flags. I understand it. But, like, how do we know 100% that was a Dave Gettleman call in the first place? Like, we can sit here and we can assume that Dave Gettleman, you know, picks all the draft, you know, picks every player. That's Dave Gettleman doing what he does. But we already know that Dave Gettleman wasn't, you know, I don't want to say he wasn't on board, but he wasn't the person that you know, recognized Daniel Jones. We know that Shermer was the one that went to Gettleman and said, hey, yo, look at Daniel Jones. This kid's a baller. So how we know that Betcher didn't go to Gettleman and go, hey, you know what? I want DeAndre Baker. I can make him work. And Dave Gettleman was like, man, got a lot of red flags, but if you think you can make him work, all right, we're gonna make it happen. I'll do what I got to get him. I'm just saying. Yes, I'm speculating. No, I don't know because I'm not in the Giants front office and I don't got a direct line to Dave Gettleman. I don't got a direct line to nobody in the Giants organization because if I did, I wouldn't be sitting in this room doing videos on YouTube. All right? I mean, I probably would be doing videos on YouTube, but I'd be doing videos on YouTube for the Giants organization. So I don't know. I'm just saying, man, like, it's crazy to me, man, how quickly people turn on Dave Gettleman because somebody's a shithead. I mean, like, listen, man, there's a lot of shitheads in the NFL that are very successful. All right, there's a lot of players in the NFL that had red flags before, you know, they got drafted, and they turned out fine. So we took a gamble, and we might have lost on the gamble. Big deal, because I don't think it's going to cripple the team. I know I just sat here and I said that, like, yo, there's a lot of question marks in terms of all these corners, right? And I just sat here and I said, yo, there's maybe 2 other people that could be, you know, that outside number 2 corner, and then maybe there's a third one hidden in all these names because I think these other guys are like slot guys. But I mean, like, I don't know, yo. I don't know. It don't quite seem like it's gonna cripple this team. I'm not concerned. I'm not concerned. Whether DeAndre Baker is here or DeAndre Baker is not, I'm not concerned right now. I think we gonna be all right. So all of y'all who are like jumping out the window about this whole situation, man, you need to chill out. I'm not saying that you shouldn't be speaking on this case. I'm not saying that you should be speaking on whether or not you think he's guilty or innocent. I'm not saying that y'all shouldn't be doing that because I won't do that. But what I am saying is that, like, I see a lot of people almost in panic mode on the Twitterverse, man. Yo, if you out there and you can hear the sound of my voice and you panicking about this situation, fucking relax, yo. Fucking relax. All right, man, I think I've rambled enough about this, but I appreciate y'all coming, listening to me talk for a minute. I hope everybody is doing well, man. I hope everybody is healthy and happy. I hope y'all washing your hands, practicing social distancing. Put a fucking mask on, yo. It ain't that hard. And more importantly, yo, be great to each other, man, because we all need it. So with that being said, man, make sure y'all hit me in the comment section, like, subscribe, go to other channels, go into their comment section, and just type in there, PTA Sports sent me. And I get up with you guys later, man. Deuces.